The most expensive thing you own, you got for free. Wait, stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you look at every free thing in your life completely differently. Free trials, free apps, free samples at Costco, free advice from your uncle. We love free stuff. It's basically hardwired into us. But here's the twist, and this is the part that'll mess with your head. Free things are almost always the most expensive things you ever buy. You just never see the bill. So why does this happen? And how do companies, people, and even your own brain use free as a trap? Let's break it down. Section: the free trap. Okay, so first, let's talk about why your brain goes absolutely feral for free stuff. There's this researcher named Dan Ariely, behavioral economist, basically a professional human brain hacker, and he ran this experiment. He gave people a choice: buy a Lindt truffle for 15 cents, or buy a Hershey's Kiss for 1 cent. Most people took the Lindt. Makes sense, right? Better chocolate, small price difference. Then he dropped both prices by just 1 cent. Lindt for 14 cents, Hershey's Kiss for free. And suddenly, 69% of people grabbed the free Hershey's Kiss, even though the math hadn't changed, even though the Lindt was still the better deal. Your brain doesn't calculate free like a normal price. It treats it like a completely different category. Free doesn't feel like a small cost. It feels like zero risk. And we are obsessed with zero risk. But here's where it gets wild. Zero risk is a lie. Section: your attention is currency. Every free app on your phone, Instagram, TikTok, Gmail, YouTube, free, right? Except someone's paying for those servers. Someone's paying those engineers. Someone is paying. And if you're not paying with money, you're paying with something else. Your attention. Here's a stat that should make you uncomfortable. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. And every single one of those checks, that's attention being harvested and sold to advertisers. You are the product. You've heard that before, but let's actually feel how expensive that is. Attention is the scarcest resource humans have. You only get about 24,000 days on this planet if you're lucky. And free apps are specifically engineered by literal teams of psychologists and neuroscientists to consume as many of those days as possible. The average TikTok user spends 95 minutes a day on the app. That's 578 hours a year. That's 24 full days every year gone for free. So yeah, free app, 24 days of your life per year. Cool deal. But wait, it gets crazier. Section: the data game. Attention isn't even the most valuable thing they're taking. It's the data. Here's how this works. Every time you use a free app, it's learning about you. What you click, how long you pause on certain videos, what you search, where you are, what time you wake up, who you talk to. And all of that gets packaged up and sold. Facebook's revenue per user in the US, about $60 a year. That's roughly what your free Facebook account is worth to them, except you didn't get $60. You got the ability to post photos, and they got a psychological profile of you that they use to predict your behavior better than your own family can. Cambridge Analytica, remember that? 87 million Facebook profiles, used to influence elections. All from data people gave away for free because they just wanted to take a "which Disney character are you" quiz. Free quiz, real-world consequences. That's the price of free, but okay. Okay, maybe you're thinking, fine, that's corporations, that's tech. What about everyday free stuff, like free shipping, free samples? Those can't be that sinister, right? Oh, buddy. Section: free shipping isn't free. Let's talk about free shipping, because this one is sneaky in a way that's almost genius. Amazon Prime, $130 a year for free shipping. People love this deal. And here's why it works on your brain. Once you've paid that $139, free shipping feels like you're winning every single time you order. You ordered a $12 phone case, you beat Amazon. Free shipping, you win. Except Amazon studied this. They know that Prime members spend on average $1,400 a year on Amazon. Non-Prime members, $600 a year. That's more than double. The free shipping makes you buy more. So much more that you basically buy your way back to paying full price. And then some. And it's not just Amazon. Free shipping thresholds are a masterclass in manipulation. spend $50 and get free shipping. So you add $11 more to your cart to avoid a $5 shipping fee. You spent $11 extra to save $5. The free shipping cost you $6. And free samples. Oh man, free samples are wild because they use something called the reciprocity principle. When someone gives you something, even a tiny cube of cheese on a toothpick, your brain automatically feels like you owe them. It's ancient social wiring. Tribes that cooperated survived. So when someone gives you something for free, your brain says, I must return this favor. Costco knows this. Studies show that free samples can increase sales of a product by up to 2,000%. You weren't going to buy that smoked salmon. But then Janet with a little paper cup gave you a bite, and now it's in your cart. Free sample. $18 salmon. Janet wins every time. Section, the hidden time tax. Okay, but let's zoom out. Because the sneakiest cost of free stuff isn't money or data or attention, it's time. And time is the one resource you literally cannot get back. Think about free software versus paid software. You could use a free video editor with a watermark, weird export limits, and crashes every 20 minutes. Or you could pay $15 a month for one that just works. The free version costs you, let's be conservative, an extra 2 hours a week in frustration, workarounds, and Googling fixes. That's 104 hours a year. If your time is worth even $15 an hour, and it's worth way more than that, the free software just costs you $1,560 a year. This is what economists call the opportunity cost. Every hour you spend dealing with the consequences of free is an hour you didn't spend on something valuable. Free advice from unqualified people costs you time fixing bad decisions. Free internship that's basically unpaid labor costs you the salary you should have been earning. Free relationship help from someone who's never been in a healthy relationship? Yeah, you already know how that ends. Section, the psychology exploit. So why do we keep falling for it? Why, even knowing all this, does free still make our brains short circuit? Because of something called loss aversion. Your brain hates losing things about twice as much as it loves gaining things. So when you see free, your brain goes, if I don't take this, I am losing a free thing. And that imaginary loss feels real. It triggers the same panic as actually losing something. Companies figured this out a long time ago. That's why free trials exist. Spotify gives you 3 months free. And then when it's time to cancel, canceling feels like losing Spotify, even though you never had it before the trial. You've become attached. You've built habits around it, and now paying $11 a month to keep it feels like the safe choice. It's the same reason casinos give you free drinks. Slightly drunk people make worse financial decisions. The drinks cost the casino almost nothing. What they get back is, well, you've seen the size of those casinos. Free drinks in a building specifically designed to take your money. That should tell you everything. Section, the real cost formula. So here's the formula, and once you know this, you can't unknow it. The true cost of anything free equals the money you spend as a result, plus your time multiplied by what your time is actually worth, plus your data and privacy, plus your attention, plus the psychological debt, the mental load of using something that doesn't quite work, or the guilt of owing someone a favor. Add all that up and free almost never wins. But here's the flip side. And this is important. Sometimes free is worth it. The key is knowing what you're paying with. Before you grab something free, ask yourself, what does this company, person, or system get out of giving me this? If you can answer that clearly and you're cool with it, great. You're making an informed trade. But if you can't figure out what they're getting, you're probably the thing they're getting. There's an old saying in Silicon Valley, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. But I'd take it further. Sometimes you're paying with your time.